So guys, this American is calling on the United States government to intervene in Nigeria's election, that Nigeria election for years has always been rigged, that the US should intervene to prevent rigging of 2027 election. Now, see how this headline captured it. It says, Nigeria's election have been rigged for decades. Unless US intervenes, it will be rigged again in 2027. Mike Almond is speaking. So guys, this is coming at a time when insecurity is at the forefront of what Nigerians are lamenting about. Now, this headline here is talking about this northern leader. They said the self-acclaimed Arewa leader issues threat. We will avenge killing of northerners in Rivers State. So guys, he said they are going to retaliate the killing of northerners in Rivers State. So guys, this is what is happening in Nigeria today. People are being killed in their thousands in the north. Nobody is revenging. But if a northerner is killed elsewhere, they would threaten that they are going to revenge. That tells you that the north feels they own the country. Look at how lives are being wasted across Nigeria, courtesy of terrorists, and nobody is revenging. But if a northerner dies somewhere, like what we saw in the Do State recently, they will tell you they are going to retaliate, they are going to revenge. Now, this Arewa leader is saying they are going to avenge the killing of northerners in Rivers State. So guys, this is what is happening now. You must have heard that the Tinubu's government has released 117 terrorists, repentant terrorists, the so-claimed repentant terrorists, back into the society. Like you can see this headline here, it says 117 repentant terrorists complete rehabilitation program. This is coming in the midst of the latest killing that happened maybe less than 24 hours ago, guys, in Zamfara State. See the headline, it says Tinubu's incompetence is killing Nigerians. Netizens react as terrorists murder 37, kidnap 150 residents in Zamfara. Guys, this is the latest that happened like in less than 24 hours ago. Terrorists kidnapped 150 persons and they ended up killing 37 in that attack. Guys, this is happening in Nigeria. This one here says 37 people were reportedly killed and 150 kidnapped last night in Dushun, Dan, Ajia village and Kaluka government areas, Zamfara states. Guys, this is what is happening. Don't forget that these attacks are happening mostly in Christian dominated areas, or areas they feel are mostly moderate Christians. They want everybody to become a radical, and this is happening when in this period of Ramadan. You know, Ramadan is always the time that terrorists, increase their attacks, because they believe that Allah is going to reward them, Muhammad is going to reward them with 70 virgins, alcohol, and whatever, slaves, and all of that they are being told they are going to get. And that is why you see them attacking even the Nigerian military base. Like I told you guys recently, 2 camps of the Nigerian military were attacked, where 4 soldiers were said to have been killed and many ammunitions were seized. Now these terrorists now are raiding communities, guys. Now this headline here says insecurity worsens, we need help, governor declares. This is dated February 21st. So this is a latest headline. A governor is crying out that the insecurity is unbearable. Don't forget that most of our senators, ministers, they don't go home. They are in Abuja, they are in Lagos. They don't care about what the ordinary people are going through, guys. This is heartbreaking. Now see, Plateau State community conduct mass burial for 30 indigens killed in Kwara, the same Kwara, guys. This is all over the places, killings all over the places in Nigeria, and Tinubu is releasing terrorists back into the society. I mean, this is the carrot and stick method the Nuhu Ribadu's office is pushing for, the amnesty system they are pushing for. Terrorists are being pampered, are not facing the court, they are not facing consequences of their evil. They have displaced thousands of people, millions of people who are in the IDP camps. People have been driven out of their communities, only for Tinubu to reward terrorists by, granting them pardon, rehabilitating them as they claim, and then some of them are being given taxpayers money to return back to the society. And guess what? At the end of the day, some of them are being sent back into some of them are on their own, they can go back into the bush, or some of them we've heard that they are being sent to the military or wherever. So guys, this is what is happening in Nigeria. I don't know what you make of the situation currently in Nigeria. That is why this guy is calling on the US to intervene, because leadership is critical when it comes to fixing Nigeria and stopping the insecurity. Leadership. Tinubu does not have the political will. He doesn't want to step on toes, and he does not want to offend northerners. He wants their vote for 2027, and he has no other option. Now this guy is saying America needs to intervene. If the world wants to see Nigeria survive these terrorist attacks, I think we need the right leaders who can face the challenge that Nigeria is facing squarely and bring it to a stop. So guys, I don't know what you make of all this happening in Nigeria today. Everywhere, Kwara State, Zamfara State, Ondo State, there was an attack where a king was killed. Terrorists invaded his palace and and killed him. I mean, everywhere is boiling. I mean, even in Yoruba land, in Ondo, they invaded the king's palace, and guess what? They killed him and others that were also affected in that attack. So, guys, and Tinubu is just interested in 2027. Wike is busy rigging the election happening in the FCT. So, guys, we don't even know where to start from in this country. So, guys, let me show you how Nigerians have reacted to what is happening in Zamfara State. 150 persons kidnapped, almost 40 persons killed at a spot. So, guys, that has generated a whole lot of reactions. Don't forget that before now, Tinubu condemned the Jonathan's administration, and this is what Tinubu wrote. He said, the festering Boko Haram attacks on the northeast and massacre of innocent citizens is concrete proof that Nigeria has no government, and it is getting worse under the Tinubu's government now in the north. And now, see what is happening here. This headline here says, Zamfara allocates 1 billion to build cemeteries across 14 local governments amid ongoing bandits killing. So the Zamfara state governor has already sacrificed his people to the terrorists. He's building bigger cemeteries, you know, to accommodate more dead bodies. So, guys, in case you don't even know what is happening in the north, let me tell you, the Fulani invaders are invading Nigeria. They want to take over the north. These people that are being attacked are mostly the Hausas. We call them moderate Muslims. Some of them are Christians, like you have in Sokoto State, you have Christians there. In Katsina, you have Christians, and also in Zamfara. There are many communities in Zamfara that are Christian dominated, and you will not even know. Now, you also have moderate Muslims who are mostly the Hausas. These are the people that the Fulanis are coming in to kill. They want to kill them, to displace them so that they take over their lands. And now the latest attack is that they kidnapped 150 of them and killed 37 of these moderate Muslims who are majority Hausas. Now, let me take you through more reactions. Like you've already seen that the Zamfara state governor is already, building more cemeteries to accommodate the killed. Now, don't forget this headline that says how we brought in Fulani militias from Mali, Sierra Leone, Senegal, others to win 2015 election. This came from an APC chieftain. He said they brought them under Buhari. Buhari opened the door for Fulanis. They came in, some of them refused to go back. They are now the ones causing this problem. They are now bringing in their friends and their strange ones that are also invading the country now. They are conniving with the ones that are already in Nigeria, and they are killing mostly the Hausas, which we call moderate Muslims. They are the ones being killed in northern Nigeria. That is why you don't see people like the Sultan speak against the killing. You don't see people like Nuhu Ribadu them. You don't see the Fulani elites. They are the ones in political positions. They are all the northern governors are Fulanis. The Emirates are mostly Fulanis. They are the ones, the elites in the north are mostly, these Fulanis, and they don't speak up. They don't condemn the rate of killings going on in the north. So, guys, let me show you how some Nigerians have reacted to all this. Like this person here said, on a serious note, there's nothing I've observed. There's something I've observed for so long on the northern states. This killing has been happening so long now. And the funny part is that they don't care, protest, or fight back the bandits just the way they can attack a Christian person when it has to do with religion or religious. Is it that they are weak when it comes to bandits and terrorists killing their families and destroying their lands? Because if they put force on these bandits just the way they usually do when it comes to their people being killed in another state, why now their states could have been peaceful? This person is trying to say that the North threatens to revenge when a northerner is killed, maybe in a river state, like you saw that headline. But they don't care when terrorists are killing their people. Why? That is what this person is saying. Now, this other person here reacted again, saying, Nigerian security forces and the country leaders should come out and tell us if we have done anything wrong to deserve this. Why are innocent and poor people being killed? Are they trying to reduce the population, or do they not see the lives of the poor people as vulnerable human lives? This is too much. They need to speak up and clarify what is going on in Nigeria, guys. And this person say, oh boy, even the US military don't face confused for this kind of our country. This country is too big to be managed as a poor, very corrupt 20th world country. The best is to divide Nigeria into 9 places so people can micromanage themselves and survive. I mean, this country is too big for Tinubu to manage. That's the reality, because with what is happening, the government cannot even make any statement. And this person say, what's all this? One APC merchant will come out and tell us everything is good and is going well. People are dying. for crying out loud, and nothing is being done about it. Tomorrow they will tell us that the people doing all these things have repented and ready to be infused into the Nigerian army. This has to stop. So guys, this is it. Like Tinubu just released some terrorists back into the society, and this person say, I guess the governor has planned ahead for more death since he's budgeted for cemetery. What a country. The governor is a full animal. He does not even care. He's rather focused in building more cemetery to accommodate more dead bodies. So guys, that's already praying for the death of the people who are still alive. And this person here say this will not even make it to the government-owned news outlet. Talk less of president addressing the nation about it. The only thing they take seriously right now is election and nothing that concerns it. So, and anything that concerns it. And this person say, what kind of religion takes pleasure in killing people? Aren't these guys tired of killing humans? No wonder your religion is being banned all over the world. Shame in this animal is in human form. So guys, it is really, really heartbreaking. 80 to 90% of the deaths happening in Nigeria today is Muslim related. I mean, Islam related. Majority of the deaths happening in Nigeria today is Islam related. I think it's high time the Islamic clerics really have to dig deep into the Quran to really know what is engineering this killings of fellow human beings. And you see the Nigerian northern elites are all quiet each time these terrorists strike. Now this person say, I pity the Hausas. When the Fulani militias are done with them, their eyes will open. Instead of uniting to fight these terrorists, they have been brainwashed to think they are brothers. This is why they happily call them Hausa Fulani. My advice to Hausa is go back to history. You see, they are killing mostly the Hausas. Another person here says, another set of Hausa people gruesomely murdered in the north, and no outrage from the northerners. It is only when northerners are attacked in the south that trigger us. Why the hypocrisy? May their souls rest in peace, guys. These people that are being killed are the real owners of the land, the Hausa people. Now the Fulanis are coming in. They want to take over at all costs. They want Nigeria. They have said it, if you can remember. The governor of Benue, the former governor of Benue, said they had a meeting. They say Nigeria is their promised land given to them by Allah. So what you see happening is like they want to take over Nigeria at all costs. And because we have a weak leadership, Tinubu has really shown that he's so weak. Buhari was even a better leader than Tinubu. Now, this person here says, these terrorists have finished off Hausa people completely. Was popping is busy with 3K gig from Obasani and NSA. He might end up as the only Hausa surviving man in Nigeria as a reward for licking Fulani leaders' balls. So guys, you can see from all these reactions, it is clear to you that the Fulanis are the ones, the terrorists, the bandits who are coming into Nigeria. They are killing the Hausas to take over their communities. These Hausas are normally moderate Muslims and some of them are Christians. And now they want to take over Nigeria from the northwest to the middle belt. They want to the northeast to everywhere, north central. The Fulanis want to take over the north. And when they capture the north, guess where else they'll be coming? To the south. That is why every Nigerian must lend his or her voice to say no to what is happening in the country now. Now, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Take a look at this video.
Who sold Nigeria? How did a person like Pantami end up being in charge of our national data? How? Somebody who is a self-confessed terrorist became our Minister for Technology in charge of our national database. How? How? Who sold Nigeria? And me and you, we kept quiet. And then, when Buhari was done, he sold Nigeria as well. He sold it to Tinubu. This is very simple. Look all around you. Every law was compromised to make Tinubu the president of Nigeria. His pedigree didn't matter to the president. His educational background did not matter. He had to be the president. The sovereignty of this country was sold to make Tinubu the president of Nigeria. Laws be damned. Morality be damned. And it's not just the judiciary who sold Nigeria to Tinubu. Where are the elders of this country? Where are they? Where are they? The political class, or should I say crass, where are they? Where are they? Who is speaking? A president is awarding a contract with a no-bid contract at an unheard of price, at an outrageous sum, outrageous in the extreme, 2 point something. I can't even wrap my brains around the figures any longer. But nobody's talking. Nobody's talking. Nigeria has become Tinubu's property to do with as it pleases. What has Obasanjo said about it? Please, what have you heard from Abdulsalam Abubakar? Which one of your pastors have talked about the coastal road? How much have they collected out of it? Why are they all quiet? Nigeria is the way it is. Something that outrageous has happened that everybody who once spoke have kept quiet. Quiet. It's not even about us imagining things. It is about us being told. We're told routinely. In a country that has over 20 million children out of school, in a country where people cannot go to their farm, in a country that cannot even secure its own border, where somebody was Achi, I think that, Venerable Achi was kidnapped with his wife and daughter. Ransom was paid, but they killed this man in front of his wife and daughter, who must have been serially raped by now by these monsters. That country had hundreds of children in terrorist custody. The same terrorists who were phoned to release children, the same terrorists Bayo Ononuga told us they have their numbers, they can talk to them, who couldn't be spoken to. How absurd do you get? Hundreds of children in their custody, but this country has enough firepower to go and stop a coup. No problem. On whose authority? We have decades of non-alignment in our foreign policy, but overnight, Tinubu, a president lacking in legitimacy or popular mandate, he had been thwarted in his attempt at attacking Niger, thanks to David Udeyin and whoever leaked that memo. This man, within hours of a coup, could mobilize our Air Force and our special forces into Benin Republic. Before the dust of that one is even clear, under very opaque circumstances, our Air Force jet is grounded in Bobo Dioulasso or wherever in Burkina Faso, with our airmen detained, and they are still busy lying. Who sold Nigeria to Tinubu? That none of you can even talk. Nobody is asking questions. And before the dust is even settled, they are talking about our fathers fought against the sale of Nigerian sovereignty to Britain, who was our colonial master, the original owner of Nigeria, who actually paid a price, purchased it. Our fathers fought and ensured that these people could not, under any stretch of the imagination, bring that defense pact to fruition. But this generation is sitting down. A president forced on the country is selling our sovereignty brazenly. Our tax records, supposedly anonymized, would be shared with another country. Does this make any sense? Who sold this country? Who sold it? Who sold this country? How much was it sold for? Can we redeem it? Is it possible to redeem it? I don't understand exactly where we are, to the point where we do not seem to understand that these unilateral and opaque decisions that explains nothing to anybody, not even a pretense at carrying along the rubber stamp legislative hand. Does it make any sense that we, who are the victims, sit on the fringe whilst decisions are taken, impacting our interest and the interest of our children, the future of everybody, and we just keep quiet? Let me tell you when you become complicit. When citizens refuse to be informed, even if you are victims, to be freed, you must be informed. When information is weaponized against you, when poverty is weaponized against you, but you voluntarily refuse to be informed, you've sold Nigeria. When you refuse to participate in the political process, flawed as it is, you failed Nigeria. You sold it. When you fail to demand accountability and transparency, when you find reasons to be silent in the face of evil, it is time now, our money is our own, you failed Nigeria. You sold it. When you refuse to challenge impunity, you sold Nigeria. When you fail to confront, you sold Nigeria. When you laugh and applaud evil because it's happening to somebody you happen not to like, you sold Nigeria. So the persons who sold Nigeria are many and they are varied.
When you talk of security, actually it transcends beyond just the farmer having access to his farm, even mobility, transportation across the interior of our country. It's really unfortunate we continue to have these security challenges, but by and large, it's not something that we will say just started. It has been going on for quite some times, and it is something that has really permeated the society. And this is one of the dangers of allowing this type of insecurity, insurgency in particular, to prolong. And you can see that virtually so many elements, from the ward head to the village head or community head to the local government and up to the state and federal level. You see all the apparatus, all the elements, all the actors, one way or the other, they are associated or accused of, allowing this thing to go out of control. But by and large, there is serious need for community resilience in order to tackle some of these remote issues, like farmers not being able to go into their farms to farm peacefully, or they are attacked and killed or abducted, as well as kidnapped. It has become a cankerworm, sort of. But you see, the solution is multifaceted as well. It's not just reliance on government. While government, has overall responsibility, but individuals, communities, the actors on the ground there have very important role to play, from the local government, the chairman, and so on, as well as the state administrations. But I want to say that there is need for serious dialogue amongst all the parties or individuals or stakeholders within the community, within the local government, within the state. That is the way out for it. And I know we had a terrible experience while I served as chief of army staff, where we see families, father, mother, all the children, all the siblings, they are all involved in this terrorism or sort of, or supporting the terrorists. So it's something that has been allowed to go along to permeate or to stay too long with us, and it's very dangerous.
Yesterday I listened to the Chief of Defense Staff, give an update on the current security situation in the country. I mean, we certainly, as my colleague did reiterate several times yesterday on the program, we certainly pay respect to the sacrifices that our security personnel continue to make in different facets. We know that they're making a lot of effort, and we pay respect to that. However, people are still a little worried about and anxious about the security, especially when you look at what it is that happened only recently this week. When you look at the killings that we understand have now resulted in the death of about 50 people. When you look at the report of the National Human Rights Commission, which also came out this week, talking about what the state of human rights is, especially the right to life and freedoms here in our country, is month and month. It does appear that in some instances we make progress, but then it appears we take 2 steps forward, and then another month we will take 3 steps backward. So I do not know what your own impression is. Do you think that as a people, because this conversation sometimes happens as to whether or not we are at war, and whether we have accepted that this, if you say indeed we are, is everyone aware that of who we are fighting? If you say that Nigeria is at war, the question will be with who, and whether the general citizenry have been made aware that the state of the security of our country, the unity of our country, is currently being threatened, maybe by forces that we're not currently aware of. And have we put a system in place to make sure that we're able to win this war, whatever it is?
Well, very good point about it. Thank you for raising this issue. You see, or if you can remember, just before I left office, and of course immediately when I left office and was appointed ambassador to the Republic of Benin, I sent a note of warning, excuse me, that this insurgency, may last longer. I don't want to count the number of years I mentioned. I say it would last longer. It's a sort of a warning that we really need to have a long-term plan. It is not something that you just wish it away, And you see, I want to give an example. Not trying to give any excuse, but the point is, when there are national crises, we need to mobilize everybody, not just the military alone. Look at COVID-19. How much was spent? How much was invested into information, into communication, into advertisement, and so on, into palliatives, into a lot of preventive measures. So much. The whole nation was locked down because of COVID-19. But we can do the same thing. We can lock down this country to make sure that everybody, concentrates and deal with this cankerworm of so-called terrorists and bandits and kidnappers and so on. It is very fundamental. It's very important. I want to take also another example. Maiduguri flood last year. The whole country mobilized and supported the Borno state government and the people of Borno to bring relief, to make sure that the people were rehabilitated in the whole of the state. And it helped a lot. Same thing can be done to mobilize everybody to the northeast, to the northwest, psychologically, through social media, through press, and so on. Individuals can support communities. It is quite fundamental.
General, sorry to interrupt your thoughts.
Let me come to the military. You see, the military is just one aspect of the overall state function or state activity or national activity. We must get it very clear that apart from the military, we have the economic line, we have the social line, we have the political line. It's very important. And we can see from all indications, the political line, that is the political will. There is no government, present or in the past, that does not want insecurity to be nipped or to be addressed properly. And resources have been, earmarked and released for such security. But you need to get it properly situated. Get it also, make sure that the social aspect, the underlying causes are all addressed. It's not just a matter of, relying completely 100% on the military to solve the entire security challenges. There is an underlying cause. It was started from within the society. It was started, through some political actors. And it was essentially a political, issue. This insecurity is essentially political. And now it's been left to the military and the political actors, staying behind. So this is something that there is need for total, review of the security, aspect in terms of political, associations or political involvement and so on. I'm not saying of this political, this government, it also met it. And something that has been on right, 2-3 governments back. So, and we cannot continuously see the military, as a problem to solving this insecurity. They are the solution, one aspect of the solution, and they will play their role very well if they have good support. The whole system is behind them. Let me tell you, any soldier that is in the field holding weapon and standing before or in between himself and the people of Nigeria, with the adversary, he is very important.
Indeed. Indeed,
very, very important. So there is no way you will demoralize him. Let me make this point. Yes. You cannot demoralize him. If you demoralize him or you despise him, make things difficult for him, then you are endangering his life and that of his family, and you are endangering the life of the whole Nigerians. And Indeed. That is why we need to give them complete support to make sure that they succeed in the field. And mass mobilization are needed.
These are very important points that you've made, General Buratai. Community resilience is something that you've talked about there. And then, of course, a whole system support for the soldier on the ground. And then, of course, you also talked about, the fact that in many ways we rely on the military for everything. Meanwhile, there's police, there are other security agencies, but somehow every focus is on the military. Now, just so that you can explain to us what you mean by community resilience and a whole system approach to supporting the troops, in what ways can we improve on the support of the troops right now? And what do you mean when you say community resilience is necessary for this?
Thank you very much. You see, first of all, the support that is needed, for the military is for the first. If you look at it, it may be intangible, but the morale is very important. Morale is very important. These soldiers who are on the ground are ready to die any moment, and it is reality. There have been casualties on a daily basis. and not even in smaller, in 1 or 2, but in some numbers, and every day is being reported. So their welfare must be improved. Okay. It's good support. You know, we must also give them the privilege, you know, not to despise them or to abuse. You know, there are so many. If you look at the social media, even some reportage, you must give them that moral support. Okay. The military is doing its own part. Yes. You know, to make sure that terms and conditions of service are met. But there is, first of all, the complete reorientation to the belief that the soldier is sacrificing for everybody in our country. Indeed. And he needs to give his best, and we must give him that moral support.
So you mentioned two things, General Buratai. You mentioned two things.
Just a minute.
Welfare.
He needs that further training.
Yes.
Sufficient funding, you know, for him to tackle, you know, myriads of problems. Sufficient welfare, you know, and that must be there must be an understanding between the government as well as the people, to know that whatever is spent on the military is not just for nothing. Its results will be achieved. Okay. But when certain funds are released and you now start saying, you know, the military gets so much and so on, and demoralizing the troops, it makes it very difficult. Community resilience is something that it should be well streamlined. You know, every society, you know, in the past, they have their own systems of defense. But unfortunately, our local government's, you know, administration or system has virtually collapsed. It has collapsed in so many areas. We don't have strong local government administration. And this is a very big setback for community resilience. But there is need for deliberate effort to bring back these local government administrations. And we must involve the traditional rulers. We must involve the religious leaders across, community leaders, family heads. They are all very important, you know, and also resilience in terms of information, that anybody that is not part of your society, community, you should identify him and make sure that he is fished out. They all live within us. Indeed. And we identify them, we must bring them out. They live along with so many of those people, of the people living in the community. Yes. Let me finally give you an example. As at the time between 2019 and 2020, we had involved, you know, a number of community heads and some leaders, youth leaders, who have contributed effectively in ensuring that many of those collaborators, their informants, were exposed and were picked. And we had a very good success. You know, as at that time, you see them even calling for dialogue or something like that. You know, so there is need for the community to support the military, giving information, providing the necessary, you know, backing and guidance. Indeed. You know, in terms of the terrain to the troops.
So, General, now that we're talking about communities, let's talk about state police. The conversation, you know, became a little rife this week, you know, when we looked at local vigilantes and the training and their performance and the things that they do. Some of them do things that may be a little embarrassing even to the state government, you know. But it brought up the conversation about state police. Just your thoughts on where we are in that conversation and what can be done. Well, maybe, I don't know if you are for it or against it. If you are for state police, what can be done to fast track its implementation across the country? And if you're not, why?
Well, first of all, I want to really commend the Anambra State government for the action taken on what happened on the youth COPA in Anambra State. It's really unfortunate. But I believe the government has done the right thing. As of this morning, I understand the police has taken over the case. They've sent the culprits to the police for proper investigation and prosecution. I'm a strong advocate of the state police. It's very, very important. But I am concerned, and I'm now afraid of our own level of development in terms of technology, in terms of even resources that we'll be able to use, to fund this state police. We also have the issue of political interference. There will be serious political interference that some, I'm not saying all, may use the state police against their political opponents, as well as use them against people they perceive as their enemies. So unless we reach that level of maturity, with all apology, in terms of our development, in terms of our administrative system at the local government level. Now we don't even have effective local government administration, where you can say as a local government administrator or chairman has full control. He can't even get himself properly organized. Then how can he have police that he has to manage?
Well, based on your work on the ground, General, based on knowing the Nigerian people right now and knowing where we are developmentally and how we behave, especially when it comes to politics and things like that, how long do you think, in your view, it will take for us to get to where we can handle something as delicate yet very important as state police?
Well, maybe I don't want to give any specific deadline also, but the issue is we must be prepared, and if there should be state police, it must have a definite guideline, its own way of operations, without any interference in terms of its deployment, its operations, without being partisan. When we are ready to do that, then I think we can safely say the state police has come to stay.
Indeed.
With all our respect to the Nigeria police, there have been several complaints on, interference one way or the other. But that's a complaint or an allegation. But, it's something that, needs to be addressed as well, so that to disabuse the minds of the Nigerians or the populace to accept, the state police. You can see some states are doing very well, like Amotekun. We have what do you call it? This vigilante Mbanga in other parts of the country, and so on. Those some of them are doing well, and but when you streamline it and formalize it, it becomes a political tool. It may become a political tool. And even now, some of the vigilantes in the states, some of them have been accused. And that's one of the origins of the fight between the Fulani and the farmers in Zamfara state in particular. That was the origin. And apart from this, there are several other factors. But by and large, it's one of the contributory factors. So we must be very careful. Yes. And we have this 4-year transition or the system of governance. After 4 years or after 8 years, what happens to the allegiance and loyalty, to the next administration? And definitely, everybody would like to take advantage of whatever resources and forces he has in his hand. How neutral can they be? Even, some reasons best known to some political parties or actors, they always, if they are not comfortable, they accuse, the military of being, one way or the other, supporting the government in power and so on. So this must be eschewed. This must be clearly defined. And I know the armed forces are loyal. They are patriotic. It's the nation force. I think if we have to get a state police, then that factor must be taken into consideration. And mind you, we may have some challenges also within the state in terms of the geopolitical spread, even within the state, as some states are feeling marginalized. So you end up having more of the local police in belonging to one zone, and then the other one are less represented, and so on. So, but by and large, this is just a matter of development. I believe by the time everything stabilizes and we have a stable system where we understand each other, and that is the need for unity, not only at national level, but at the states and local government levels. All of us must be seen to be one as far as the development and progress of our respective states and country are concerned.
Well, General, we know that you have since delved into other matters apart from you being a farmer. You've also entered the realm of politics. So when you talk about politicians now, I'm sure that you know the people that you're talking about. Can I ask you what ambitions you nurse, after having joined a political party? I
think my ambition is to be a statesman, a national statesman.
You do not want to run for any political office?
I don't think now I have any idea. If I have almost 5 years or plus since leaving office, you've not had me going for any political office, unless if you want to invite me or any other person who wants to invite me. But now I think I am comfortable being a statesman. I know the terrain, I know the political. No, a statesman is also a politician, But
are you bidding your time?
With caution.
Are you bidding your time?
I think so, but when you call me at the right time, I will think about it.
You will let us know when your people have bought a form for you. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, our political atmosphere is very dynamic. There are those who are very concerned, though, about how we play politics, about how it would seem that there is this cycle, this unending cycle. We're just 2 years into the Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration, and clearly politics is already heating up in almost all of the political parties. We've seen the formation of the ADC. We've seen the attempt at resolution within the PDP, even though it's not quite there yet. We've seen even the APC and some of the very disturbing allegations. Yesterday, we had a conversation with a chieftain of the APC who alleged that a sitting minister was trying to assassinate him. I mean, you're a member of the All Progressives Congress. I do not know if you caught that particular interview and what you made of it. But what do you make of the general political climate as we currently speak, given also the state of things in our economy?
Well, I did make one statement, a few weeks back, in terms of, what is happening within the country. But, as a historian as well, I always take history, as a basis, by which, we should gauge, what is happening now. And I want to believe whatever is happening now is not new. Our political evolution, from pre-independence to independence to first, second, third republic, it has always been virtually the same. It's the same trend in terms of our economy. Certain dynamics, always influence, what is happening at that moment or at any political, season. And it has not changed, and the Nigerians, are resilient. And I believe we will overcome whatever challenges we have now. And I mentioned before that every previous administration, that I know of as a young adult then, has always, at one point or the other, tried to leverage or take advantage of the petroleum factor, to either reduce the subsidy, which is very rare. I think it happened only once or so, and then also to increase, to remove subsidy, or to leave it as it is, or to increase it.
General, so, let me interrupt to make my question a little more succinct. Do you have a note of warning for politicians as they're playing politics today? Or do you think, because you have made reference to history, or do you think that they're okay and this is just how politics is played?
In terms of warning, I think they are playing their own game. We should allow politicians. I have a very good military background, 40 years. And the military is not a small thing. And I have seen military administrations, and I have seen also this democratic civilian administration. While, we believe in democracy, we have maintained, the military has maintained her neutrality in terms of democracy. It is something that we believe, will make a lot of difference. Lessons have been learned, and I believe whatever is happening now is something that is being done deliberately in order to make things better. But if it is not being done the way others feel, they have their right, to raise issues. But to talk of the case of the ADC allegation, I think the season has just started, and I think there is need for more caution as the political tension, our political season comes in closer. There will be more tension. So we really need, to be cautious in terms of what is said and how the politics should be played. Politics is a game, and it is something that you either win or lose. And once you are in position, you have all the resources, the powers, to improve on the lives of the citizens, and that is the aim of every politician. And I believe the present government, has not, done otherwise in terms of, maintaining its own statement. Because nobody will come and tell you that they don't want, to bring best thing for the people. But policy differ, and the implementation, they also differ. And I want to believe lessons have been learned. And it requires good dialogue, understanding, and also, let me use the word prayer, for the nation to come out of whatever challenges we have, be it economic, security, social, and so on. We need prayers, and we also need the support of every well-meaning Nigerian. And as a statesman, I will continue to maintain that position. I know I spent over 40 years as a military man, and I have played very prominent role while in service, a very strategic role, and I know what we achieved. And I would not like to throw it to partisan
politics
position.
Fair enough, General, fair enough.
So guys, let me quickly take you through some of the reactions after terrorists killed 30, almost 40 people and kidnapped like 150 from Zamfara. This person say, I guess the governor has planned ahead for more dead since he budgeted for a cemetery. What a country. And this other person here say, is the president of Nigeria not aware of the killings? Okay, I remember Zamfara State and not Kogi or Kwara State. We would have been quick military action against the bandits. And this other person here say, this is so pathetic. Inna Lila. I don't know if that is Hausa. Another person saying, what the hell is going on in this country? You wake up and the day isn't guaranteed you will see it to the end. What's happening in this country, guys? Every day, the same story, and government don't care. Bro, if it was to be another country, it's enough for the whole country to be whole till insecurity battle becomes insecurity. to be on a hold until insecurity is battled, because insecurity has killed more in Nigeria than Ebola did in the world. Yet there is no genocide. It's just a mass killing. This was a meanwhile, those super useless and reckless social, economic, and political leaders and elites of that's Arewa people will tell their gullible, brainwashed, and undiscerning people that this is the will of Allah for their killing to continue happening across different parts of their enclaves. And this person say this is sad. Humans don't have value in Nigeria. Every death caused by majority, 80% of the death happen in Nigeria caused by a religion. This is bad. This is bad. Northerners must stand up. This is bad. Whether it's happening in the north, it's happening in the east, it's happening in any part of the Nigeria. 80 to 90% of the death happening in Nigeria is coming from the Muslim community. What is wrong? Is it not time for the northern elites to stand up? Is it not time for the clerics? What is it in the Quran that tells you that killing your fellow human being is what Allah wants? I still can't believe what I'm seeing, guys. And these northerners, some of them are sending their children to the UK to go and study. What are you seeing in Christian countries that you don't want to fix your own country? You Islamize the country and make religion more superior to the constitution, and then you send your children to countries where constitution prevails. This person here said this will not even make it to the government-owned news outlet. Talk less of the president addressing the nation on it. The only thing they think seriously right now is election and nothing that concerns it. This is sad. Humans don't have value in Nigeria anymore. United States won't see this one as it is not Benue. If you want, the North don't even raise alarm. Who will raise it for them? You protest now, they will bribe out the gunmen to prevent. I am beginning to think if this is happening because the governor refused to join the APC, so barbaric. It's Biafra or nothing. America, go things in and play. Even with their presence, Gumi boy, they work. Tinubu is busy with his city boy movement mobilization. What kind of religion takes pleasure in killing people? Aren't these guys tired of killing humans? No wonder religion is being banned all over. Shame in these animals, and shame in these animals in human form. So guys, it's really so. I don't know what is in the Quran that tells Muslims, because you don't even see their leaders condemning the killings. They are very fine with it just because of political gain. And this means I pity the Hausas. When the Fulani militias are done with them, their eyes will open. Instead of uniting to fight these terrorists, they have been brainwashed to think they are brothers. This is why they happily call themselves Hausa Fulanis. My advice to Hausas is to go back to history, guys. You know that majority of the people that the Fulanis are the ones invading to kill the Fulani, just to remove them from their communities, to take over. That is it. What is happening? This man say we are now living in a medieval times. How can this killing be happening on a daily for many years now, and the government is nonchalant about it? Not even a statement from the president. Which kind life be this? Hey, this person say, God, why is world so silent on the genocide going on against indigenous people of Nigeria? And this person say another set of Hausa people gruesomely murdered in the north. No outrage from the northerners. Is it only when northerners attack in the south that triggers us? Why the hypocrisy? That is the problem. These are Hausas, the moderate Christians that are not extremists. This one says their killers will still be pronounced repentant. I think that is where we are mixing it. These northerners that are being killed are Hausas, and the Fulanis, the invaders, are the ones coming in to invade and to get rid of them. And this person say, and some of the stupid Christians that pastor have already brainwashed them, are still saying they are killing Christians just because our leaders are useless and stupid. Anyway, people don't even know what's happening. No Fulani man is caught up in this death. Fulanis are the one coming in to kill the Hausas. You know, this is like a battle between the Hausas, and if you hear killings in the north, it's either Christian dominated, because some Hausas are Christians, like you see in the Middle Belt. Some of them, you have them in Katsina, you have them in Zamfara, you have them in Sokoto. So these Fulanis are coming in, they are killing the Hausas, they want to take over their community. So it's not as if Muslims are dying. They are the ones we call moderate Muslims, that are the Hausas. Those of them that are practicing Islam, they are not extremists. So the Fulanis are the ones invading the country, and that's why you don't see any outrage from leaders, because majority of the leaders in Nigeria now are Fulanis, and that's just it. Meanwhile, the VIP vagabond in power has switched a full-on election rigging season mode. I'm most upset at Nigerians who don't spit on and spell the VIPs whether they see them. And this other person here said, These terrorists have finished off Hausa people completely. Waspin is busy with 3K gig from Obasani and NSA. He might end up as the only surviving Hausa man in Nigeria as a reward for leaking Fulani balls. So guys, this is what is happening. Just so because I see people saying, oh, they say Muslims are not being killed. Hausas are the moderates, and you have mostly Christians among the Hausas, and then the moderate, they are not the extremists. So the Fulanis, who are mostly the extremists, are now the ones coming to get rid of these Hausas and to take over their communities. Islam is a beautiful religion and peaceful until all Hausas die in Fulani hand before you all realize violent Islam is more. To keep you realizing more, it's getting worse and worse. Reject Islam northern before it's too late. And this other person here, this is a message for the federal government. It's a sort of blackmail. Do things our way, or is it what you are going to be dealing with? I honestly do believe Jagaban is the good person in this situation. I know it is hard to digest, but what if the president is actually right and this person is America and foreign soldiers are on ground, and all of a sudden there's a spike in kidnapping and number these times are relatively high. Nigeria is about to enter a phase of civil war, and it won't be funny. Oh, sorry, my people, bloody times are ahead, unfortunately. So guys, we don't even know what is happening in the country, you know. So relax. Tinubu is killing Nigerians. I believe when terrorists rehabilitated by APC are though with poor Nigerians, they could focus on political class and city boys. They are working on traditional people and Christians now before Tinubu criminality mandate, and body could tell us all. Now, this person say government that is running a blind eye to the number of people killed. When we are not fighting a war, has no business talking about a second term. This will only get worse. I mean, so guys, I'm going to stop here. Let me know what you think about all this going on in Nigeria in the comment section below. Please don't forget to. This person say, and yet the selfish reason some people will say Christian genocide does it sit well with attributes of such atrocity? Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you.